Hey everyone, it's Cam at American Community Bank. I kept microwaving fish in the break room in the office, so they sent me to this new office, which I think is an upgrade. Um, so, as you may know, the Bureau of Labor Statistics was supposed to release their jobs report last Friday. They didn't because of the government shutdown, so we don't have that data, but we do have data from the Challenger report that was released recently on October 2nd. So, I wanted to break that down a little bit for you and show you a couple of highlights from that report. So here is the Challenger report for September of 2025, released October 2nd. They've been releasing this report for 36 years. They use public company data to get to these numbers, so we can trust that they're pretty accurate. And what I wanted to point out here is companies have announced 946,000 job cuts this year. It's the highest since 2020, and it's 24% higher than job cuts for the full year 2024. Fifth highest in the 36 years that the Challenger has been doing this report. So, job cuts are up. It's a significant number, and I'll show you a little bit later where those job cuts are happening, and we can speculate a little bit about what the trends might be there. So, I just wanted to also point out here that they say that job cuts are only this high during recessions or when there's a wave of automation that is getting rid of jobs. So obviously in this case, AI is what they're referring to. So the question is AI contributing to these job cuts right now? And I'm going to show you a chart that shows you that no, in fact, AI is not even close to the number one contributor of job cuts today. So I thought this chart was pretty interesting. What you'll see is that the biggest contributor to job cuts this year was actually the Doge government cuts earlier this year. So 293K from Doge cuts, plus an additional 21K from downstream Doge cuts. So far and away the biggest contributor. And then you got market and economic conditions. If you combine that with cost cutting, it looks pretty similar to last year to date. The difference is that a lot more people are pointing to market conditions as the reason they're cutting jobs as opposed to general cost cutting. So, people are blaming tariffs and the general economy more this year. Closing is up 47K, so more businesses closing than they were last year to date. And then bankruptcy job cuts are up about 10K from last year to date. So the other thing that really stuck out to me is how many job cuts there were due to technology and AI. So it's about 37K, which is a fraction of the Doge cuts. It's actually only about 6K more than year to date 2024. So surprisingly, we're not seeing a huge load of job cuts due to AI. And there could be a couple explanations for this. It could be that companies just aren't hiring because of AI. So you as there's natural attrition, they're not replacing those roles and instead they're utilizing AI to have one employee do the work of two, three, or four employees. So the question here is, will job cuts accelerate due to AI, or will we continue to see a steady trickle of jobs leaving that companies don't rehire for because they're now utilizing AI to get more out of each individual employee? I think that's yet to be seen, but I do think it's possible that this number does increase somewhat as AI becomes more competent and more usable over time. So that's what I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and please check out my other videos.